A guardian ad litem in the family court setting is a neutral professional who is being appointed by the court to come in and do an investigation and determine what is going on, do interviews with both parents, interviews with the children, interviews with collaterals, a review of documents. And that guardian ad litem is going to write a report, and they're going to make recommendations to the court about what they see is in the best interest of the children. So things like the residential schedule. What residential schedule does the guardian ad litem recommend for these children? Maybe even some recommendations for services for the parents or the children. Maybe the guardian ad litem notices that one parent is really having some mental health problems that are going untreated. There might be a recommendation for a psychological evaluation or some type of therapeutic involvement. So a guardian ad litem is a neutral professional who is utilized by the court as an expert to come in and investigate, make recommendations, and try to help bring the voice of the child and the situation into the court so that the judge gets more information before they're making their final decisions. When a guardian ad litem is appointed in a family law matter, the first thing they do is they're going to reach out to each of the parents, because part of this process is an investigation process where they're going to schedule a meeting with each parent. Often it's done in the home, and they're going to find out, they're going to go all the way back to the parents' biological family and really understand all about that parent and what's going on. Then they might also do interviews of the children, both at home with each parent, so in each parent's home, or they might do interviews with a child at school in a neutral place. A guardian ad litem will also often get a list of collaterals from each parent so that they can interview those collaterals and find out what does that collateral say about that parent's abilities and how they're doing insofar as the child's best interest goes. The guardian ad litem will also gather all kinds of documents, things like school records, medical records, maybe even health records of each parent, all kinds of records to be able to determine how things have been going all along. The guardian ad litem might also be involved in some of the third-party communication platforms like Our Family Wizard. A guardian ad litem might put themselves on that account so that they can see how are these people communicating on a day-to-day basis about their co-parenting issues. These are all things that are going to help a guardian ad litem as they make recommendations once the investigative phase of their work is done and they're moving into the report writing and recommendation phase. Preparing for a guardian ad litem interview is really nerve-wracking. I have to tell you, having been a guardian ad litem for years and done so many guardian ad litem investigations, every single parent would tell me how nervous they were to talk to me. And it used to make me really sad because I thought, gosh, I wish you had been prepared more to know that this isn't scary. I am here. Yes, I'm going to get all kinds of information, but it's not going to be scary. So one way I think that you can prepare for this is to get yourself educated about what a guardian ad litem investigation is and what it isn't. Make sure you're asking your attorney to walk you through this process. Make sure you're asking your attorney all the questions you have up front about this, and how long will they be visiting in your home? How often are they going to call you or reach out? Whatever your questions are, get them answered, because the more we can take the fear out of this process, the better that is going to be for you and your children. When we're talking about a guardian ad litem's influence, I think that is, it's kind of a tricky subject because, there's some things around what you really can and cannot say about influence in court. A guardian ad litem's recommendations, which are found in their written report, if that report is written in a way that shows sound analytical judgment, that is free from bias, and that it is based in a neutral, fair investigation, that guardian ad litem's opinions and recommendations will likely weigh heavily on the court. Now, that being said, if a guardian ad litem writes a report and it is not, in fact, based from a place of neutrality, there is not a clear, logical step where we can see how they went from one thing to the other, or how different hypotheses were really investigated throughout the process, rather than just one idea that came at the beginning and all the things they gathered were all around that one idea. I mean, the guardian ad litem process is amazing if it is done well, and it is horrendous if it is done poorly. If you have any questions about a guardian ad litem investigation or whether a guardian ad litem might be appropriate in your case, please reach out to us at Elise Bowie Family Law Group. We would love to discuss your specific situation with you in light of whether a guardian ad litem could help or not.